Well, hello. Hopefully the live stream is working here. I just started the live stream up, so we're going to see if it comes up on YouTube. I'll check on my phone. That way I can read your comments. We're going to work on the 4th gen board right here. And it looks like we are live, so there we go. Gen board right here. Oh, we got audio too, so we're working good. I'm going to let some of you viewers join in before we get started here. The microphone, I'm actually using my laptop behind me, so it's set up with a microphone on it. I'm looking down at the 4th gen setup. So since I'm the only one in here, I'm just going to wait. We get some people in, we'll get going on this. Maybe I can get some of your input on it and some of your help. It's the 4th gen Intel board that if we shut it off, we cannot power it back on unless we shut the power supply off. So I have a hard drive hooked to it with Linux on it because I've already went down that road. I'll tell you what roads I have been down. Well, hello there, Alex Retro Repair. Welcome in, buddy. I'm going to wait for a couple more people and we'll get this thing started. That's exactly what I'm going to do, the CPU replacement. So that's the first thing we're going to start with here. I'm going to show you guys on the camera, though, exactly what we got going on. So I went in and I tried I messed with the C state and the BIOS, and I can't get any of that to work. And we're just going to try the CPU swap. I'm pretty sure I got a couple of CPUs here to fit it, so I'm just going to look at what I got. 6400 is not going to work in it, unfortunately, but I know I got some 4th gens here somewhere. That's the nice part about having all these parts left laying around. You typically got CPUs. That big CPU is not going to fit it. I know what it will fit, though. All right, so as soon as I didn't need it, I would find it, but the moment I do need it, then I'm not going to find it when I just seen it. So go figure that one out, right? A lot of 1st gens, though. That's nice. Oh, nope, that's not what we need either. All right, so we got 4 tuned in now. We'll get going in just a minute. We should be able to get a few more in here, I would think. And then you guys and gals could start throwing suggestions my way. And we'll see if we can fix it together. That's how we'll do that. We'll just see if we can fix it together. Oh, i3-6100T is not going to work. Help me understand what I got going on here. I need to organize these things, I think. Oh, a Core 2 Duo. That would be a fun one to do on a live stream one day, right? I tried to go live earlier. I've been fighting this camera for hours now. What does a Pentium G... I don't know what that fits. But I know I got a 4th gen here. I should have found it before I started the stream. Hindsight, right? Wait a minute. I think we might be on to something. Nope. Another 6th generation. I got a lot of 6th gen CPUs here, so if anybody watching needs some of them, just throw it in the comments section. But where my 4th gen is at, got it. We got an i3-4160, so that's going to be our test CPU. Got it in my hand, so I have located it. We got 4 people tuned in, so let's go ahead and turn you down here where you can see the board. Unfortunately, I don't have you looking where you can see the monitor, though, so that kind of sucks. But I do have you hooked up on a cable so I can move it around. Who else we got in here? RGBC, hello, welcome to the stream, buddy. We're going to see what this 4th gen, I'm going to show you real time what it's going to do live right here. So we're going to turn you down where you're looking at the board. I'm going to flip the power supply on, hit the start button, and this thing's going to fire right off without a problem. So you see it firing up right here. I'm watching the screen. As soon as it goes into Linux, I'll go ahead and shut it down normally without touching the power supply. And that way you can see exactly what I see when I'm doing this. And we can look the board over, and that'll give us a little bit of an idea of what's going on with it. The board functions normally. So everything's normally, and as soon as I say that, I don't have any display for some reason. Go figure that one out. I don't know if I bumped that. Well, what in the dickens is going on here? We got post because the keyboard and mouse is working, but we got no display. So let me shut it down and try that again. I just had this thing on and using it, so this will only happen on a live stream. I can promise you that. You'll never have this problem any other way. Everything will just boot up fine. But the minute you go to a live stream, it's you know exactly what I'm saying. So we'll try it again. I just need to get it to display so we can turn it down normally. Is this the possessed board that does the weird power? Yes, it is. That's exactly what I'm working on right now. So this is the possessed 4th gen Intel board. And for the life of me, I don't know what happened to my display. I did run a cable behind it. Maybe I knocked something loose here. I don't know. Maybe I knocked something all the way out. Wonder if that's what happened. I knocked my adapter out for my monitor, so that's going to be fun. And I'm tugging on the cable because of the USB I got ran to the laptop behind me. This is going to take a minute because I got to get my monitor hooked back up. This is the first time I've had a problem with that falling off, so I must have knocked it off with that cable. I can't see the chat right now, so I'll check your messages in a second while I get this re-hooked back up here. Oh, mercy. This is going to be fun. But it's going to be why we don't have a display. All right. We got it back on there. Got a little tape on me there. I would think as soon as you connected it would light up, but okay, we'll fire it back up again. Shut that off. I do like that this board has a start switch on it. We don't have to jump it with a screwdriver constantly, so that's kind of nice. Who else we got in here now? Oh, same. Smell those case accessories to you. Well, I appreciate that. All right, finally we got a screen here, so we're going to be able to shut it down right and test it now. Let me password in here. I know my password. There we go. This is Solus Linux that I got on this one, so this is a pretty cool one. EQ emulation. Burn 2 Pentium D up, clocking them to 4 gigahertz of the HP system. Yeah, overclocking can get that way. All right, so we're going to do a normal shutdown on this thing. If I figure out how to do that on this. Nope, there we go. So let's go shut down. Normal power off. So there you go. You're looking at a normal power off. And you can see we still have the red LEDs flashing on this board. And if you look, the power switch and the reset switch are both, if you can see it, they're both illuminated. So if we try to repower this thing, so I'm going to hit the power button right here, nothing. I'm hitting the power button, we got nothing on it. So this is what it's doing. Now watch. If we shut off this power switch, just like that, wait for the LEDs to go out. They're still flashing, so let's hold down the start button and see if we can knock them out quicker. All right, so they're out now, right? Flip the power switch back on. LEDs are lit back up again, just like before when it won't start. Hit the button, fires right up. So I've checked this board over with a magnifying glass extensively, and I can't find any capacitors that look like they're about to explode on it or anything that leads to an issue with this. So that's the crazy thing about it. We got a teeny tiny power supply on it. So I did find the 4th gen processor, and I think that's what we're going to do right here. I think I'm going to shut it back down. We're going to swap the processor out, and we're going to see if that solves the issue. I have never had a processor do this, and all the time that I've been building systems, I don't think I've ever had a processor that did something this stupid. And this is because the system works so well, it's just an annoying little problem to have. It's just absolutely annoying. So let's go ahead and shut the possessed one back down. We're going to change the processor out real quick, and we're going to see if that solves our dilemma or not. Let's discharge this board. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to unplug the power supply. That way I know we got no juice going to this thing. So if I jam a screwdriver the wrong way or something, we don't get a short out. And it doesn't look like the fire PC. What did I call that one? I don't know, the one that smoked and flamed out. I guess it would be the fire PC. All right, so let's see if we can get this stupid CPU cooler out of the way. I hate the stock coolers for these. They're garbage. You guys probably say the same thing, but if we're fighting a problem on a board, and it's not a problem if I was using and keeping the system. It wouldn't bother me none. But, I mean, I'm one of the people that I can't sleep at night if I resold it knowing that it had this kind of problem. And it's probably nothing that's going to, it doesn't affect the performance of it. And the other thing I want to mention, in Windows, we had a problem with the USB. Whatever USB the mouse was plugged into, it would unpower it. And we don't have that problem on Linux. So if the Linux version goes to sleep, it doesn't shut off any of the USBs. So I did check all the pins on this board too. I didn't see a problem with those either. We're going to try to get this to set in there just like the other one come out. And that's just like it should be. So we got a 4th gen i3 in it right now. And we're going to pretend that went in there right. I'm pretty sure it did, but. And I'm going to find the most expensive thermal paste I've ever bought in my life. I have a tube of it back here, and I'm going to show it to you. Best Buy got me on this one. Either Best Buy got me or Corsair got me, one or the other. One of them got me. It's the most expensive thermal paste ever. I get $25 for it. One tube was in it. I thought there would be more than one tube, so. Oh, they must have seen a dummy coming through the door, and I ain't kidding you. All right, so let's turn this sideways because we know our CPU fan. We'll go ahead and plug that in real quick. It took me a while to get the live stream to work, so if you've seen it go live earlier, that's because I just started fooling with it, and then we didn't get it to go live until I just went live a few minutes ago, so there you go with that one. Let me get back to the messages real quick so I can see what you guys are saying on there. Oh, different PCI Express port. We'll try that too. We'll do that right after we do this CPU swap out right here. So let's get our cooler to set back down. I hate these coolers. I can't stress that enough. I absolutely hate them, but I don't think we need great contact for what we're doing here. I honestly don't. So we're not going to worry about that. Micro center nearby. No, I'm down in Florida. We don't have any micro centers down here. I know that they have them up in Pennsylvania. I was up in Hershey, Pennsylvania about a month ago, and I was within an hour of one, and I should have went to one because I think if you haven't been to a micro center, that you need to go, especially if you're in the PCs and stuff. So we have this CPU changed out. We're going to go ahead and fire it up again. We'll see if it liked that CPU change. Where that cooler sounds rough. Yeah, they do. Those stock coolers suck. You're absolutely right. All right, so I believe that we're posting, and we definitely lit up on the screen, so we know we got a good CPU in it. We're going to go ahead and load in the Linux. New CPU installed, so let's go F1. So it did detect our i3 here. We're going to hit F10, save it. That way I can just boot into Linux, and I have some old hardware, CPUs and RAM mostly. Yeah, I'll take any of that stuff. You can, on the description, I believe my email is in there, SimSation19 at gmail.com. We got a CPU fan error. Oh, that's because we plugged the CPU in down here. We don't care about that. I just bypass that. I'll shut the errors off on this thing. I hate when those things hold me up anyway. Or, you know what? Just put the CPU where it goes. The motherboard model is the Maximus 7 Hero. So it's an Asus Maximus 7 Hero. All right. Let me get these wires ran around the front way, and then we'll make sure that we get them into the CPU fan so we can make all kinds of racket with it. Just kidding about that part, but if it happens, right? All right, here we go. We're booting back in again. This time we shouldn't get the fan error on the CPU, so it'll let us go into Linux. 2 for 130. I'm kind of reading the messages out of order here. I think it'll be fine. All right, so we're booting back into my Solus Endurance 6.14.11. So here we go. We're back into it now. I'll password in, and then we'll shut it right down, and we'll see if the CPU caused the problem. Let's do this. How many of you think the CPU swap out is going to fix this 4th gen board? Just put a Y for yes and an N for no. Put it in the chat. How many of you think that the CPU change is going to fix our possessed 4th gen board right here? We got an N right there from RGBC. So that's a no. The CPU change won't fix it, he says. So who else wants in on this one? Is the CPU change on this 4th gen going to fix it, or will it not? This getting kind of fun. All right, so we're going to have one answer right there from RGB. I don't see anyone else chiming in. I'm pretty sure they're on their seats. Not sure what the issue was. I came in late. All right, so I am working on the 4th gen board, which is it had the Intel i7-4770 in it. The issue is that when you shut it down normally, you can't restart it without shutting the power supply off. So if you do not cycle the power supply off, the board will not restart. I have been through the BIOS on this thing, I changed every setting you can think of, including rolling back to a previous BIOS and then rolling back forward to the most recent BIOS. All right, Maximus Z790 Hero, solid white, QLED, solid green blue QLED, no video signal. Huh. I done been through the RAM. I had the mismatch RAM in it on the video. I done a video on this one. It was on the Bling 2 build. But I went through the RAM. I even put it down to 1. I've swapped the RAM out now. You can see it's not mismatched. I'm going to put you down a little bit lower, but if you see the RAM right there, you'll see 2 green ones there, 2 8 gig sticks. So I swapped that RAM out on this. Let me go ahead and shut this down and let's see. We're going to find out right now if the CPU fixed it. Here we go. Shut down. All right, so we're powering the system off. We can visually see that the LEDs are still on the board. All right, search the article on ASUS. I have done that. I've done that, and I've done everything that I've read on this issue. Believe it or not, if you Google it, most people find that it's the C state. So for the sleep. The only problem they have with the sleep is on Windows. They don't have it on Linux, right? So if this machine is on Windows, not only will it not restart like it's doing on Linux, but it will also kill the USB that the mouse is plugged into. So your mouse won't work. You got to plug it into a different USB, and it will not repower that USB until you restart the system. This is the weirdest issue I've seen. So we have powered this off. I haven't touched anything. We're going to go ahead and hit the power button now. And the CPU change did not fix our issue, so we're out on that one. We're going to do this, though. We're going to shut this thing off, and I've seen a suggestion to try a different PCI Express slot, so let's do that now. Just glorified PS2 port then. Yeah, Adam, it is a really cool board. I like the board, and it's a shame it has this issue. And I bought it this way off a marketplace. Go figure that. You guys wait till you see the deal I got scammed on recently. But it wasn't a ton of money, and I did get some usable stuff out of it. But if any of you have been watching my videos and you've seen the one where the computer caught on fire with the ASUS board, then you'll know that I haven't had success with an AM3 board in years. So I found a beautiful, I'll show it to you before the stream's over. I found a beautiful Sabertooth R2.0 version board in the original box in beautiful shape. And I'll be damned if it don't work either. So we have switched PCI Express slots on the board. We're going to power back up now. And we're going to hit our button. And you'll see, because we had the power supply off, that it's going to fire right up. The hot deal. That's exactly right, Adam. It was the hot one. Change power settings to performance or max. Or there may be a setting in the advanced BIOS. I have been through about everything in this BIOS. All right, so we're booting into Solus again. I'll shut it down normal since we're in a different PCI Express slot. You would almost think that something is keeping it powered open where it's not shutting down fully. It's like something's stuck on the board when you shut it off, and it's not powering down fully, and that's what's causing the issue. That's kind of what it seems like, but this is the 4th different power supply that we've had on it. I got this janky little 390 watt, maybe 300 watt on a good day, I don't know. But pushing the 1050, it's not going to hurt anything. Well, hey, PC Steve, welcome to the chat, buddy. I appreciate all you guys coming in and all the suggestions here. We're going to try it. That's why we're doing a live stream. I told you I would live stream this 4th gen board, and I was not kidding. We're doing it. So let's do another shutdown on this thing. What we're trying now is we move the graphics card to a different PCI slot. Linux Mint. And why or emulate Windows with all that. I may have a 478 board laying around here somewhere. I'll have to look through my boards to see. Yeah, they can be bad without exploding. I've seen that happen before. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and hit the start button and see what we get. All right, different PCI Express slot. Didn't solve our issue either. I have tried unplugging everything, so we'll do that one more time. Let's go ahead and unplug our PS2 on our keyboard. We reach down there and do that. Let's unplug our USBs. Let's unplug this. We're going to have to leave the... You know what I haven't tried? Let's try this. Let's plug this stuff back in. Let's try going on to the onboard graphics and not using a PCI Express slot at all. So let's do that. If this works, I don't know what I don't know what to say, right? Let me get the graphics card out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the onboard graphics on the motherboard and just not use the graphics card at all. So here we go. Let's turn it on. We got LED lights, so we're powering up again. Hit the power button. It shut off. Now it's restarting. So it fired up and it shut itself off and it restarted right there. So this is weird. Maybe not. It probably reset the CMOS because we went to the onboard GPU. Oh, we're still cycling here. I got the USBs on and off. There we go. We loaded up our Linux. So we'll get into it real quick and we'll try shutting it down. If this works, then I really don't know what the problem is. If this right here works, I don't know what the problem is. So all we did was remove the GPU. We're going to shut it down now. And this is running Linux Solus, so we're not using... Yeah, it's got a brand new CMOS battery in it. I have literally... almost everything that the Google machine told me after I tried everything that I know, I went to the Google machine and I tried everything I could find on any of the forums or anything. So here we go. This is without a graphics card in it. Will it start? No. So we're still at a no start on this thing. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to leave the HDMI cable plugged in, but I'm going to pull all the peripherals off of it. So we're going to pull the keyboard, the mouse, everything. So we got nothing but an HDMI cable plugged into this thing. Let's recycle it. I have never had a board do this. I've never ever seen a board do this before. This is definitely a new one. But it's an old board, so, I mean, it could be a capacitor or anything like we have talked about, and that almost would be the road that I would go down. Something's not powering off on this board. Could the Super I/O not releasing? Okay, Ashley, perfect question. There is a BIOS button on the back of this thing, and I've checked it multiple times, and it is not stuck. I know that if that button sticks, that people have had problems with that. But I can't see where that button stuck. Crap, I can't get into here because I don't have a keyboard. So that failed to work. But let's do a hard shutdown. I held the power button down to do a hard shutdown on it, and it won't power back up. So I held the power button down, hard shutdown, and it will not power back up. So those are out. I can't get you around here, or I can. I might try to move the camera down here for a minute because I'll show you the BIOS button, the flash BIOS button on the back of this. But this board does have it. You know what? Probably be easier to flip the motherboard around to you. But we got the power supply hooked up, and I can't see where this is going to go badly here, but we're going to do it anyway. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? We smoke and have a fire? Who cares, right? As long as it don't burn the house down. Oh. Boy, that power supply is a booger to unplug. Oh, we got power going to the board, so we need to unplug that first. We're trying to short it out for sure. All right. Goodness. That thing was holding on for dear life. All right, so here we go. Let's try this. If you can see right here, we have the BIOS button for the board. So I have read on this board on the forums where that button will stick and cause the problem. But I can't find any, I don't know if you can see this, but there's no sticking there. The button's working fine, so there's no sticking. And I could try to pry it out because I've seen more than one person say that this was the problem on their board, that this button got hung up and stuck. But that button's clearly working and it's not hung up, so I think we can pretty much say that that's definitely not an issue. But, I mean, we just played with that button for a little bit, so we'll try it again. Let me catch up on all the chat, too. All right, does that have an 8-pin CPU? I've got a 4-pin in it on this power supply, but it done the same thing with the 8-pin or the 4-pin in it. I've tried 4 different power supplies, so that clearly wasn't the issue. Definitely not a Windows issue, EQ, because we've got Linux on it, so definitely not a Windows issue. The problem happened on Windows and it happens on Linux too. I believe it is 3003. We can fire it back up and check it, though, to be for sure, but I think it is. Whatever the latest one is for it. But it doesn't matter because I rolled it back to a previous version, too. So I've tried, like, probably 3 different BIOS versions on this board. Probably a residual charge on the system power OK line. Happens sometimes when certain VRM configs. Yep, that could be it, Ashley. You're 100% there, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, that something's just stuck on. Actually, always have the. Alex, I know that. I've been down that road more than once. But if it's the same issue with the 8-pin power supply or the 4-pin, then you can pretty much rest assured that's not the issue. All panel connectors connected. It was in a case when it started having a problem and everything was connected, so that didn't do it. Yes, it could. That was in one of the comments, Alex, and you're absolutely right. And I'm wondering if I should grab my voltmeter and we'll test the 5-volt rail on it, because I'm pretty sure that the 5-volt rail is what is responsible for that function where we're having an issue. But I would almost lean more towards what Ashley said, that something's causing it to hang on, basically, which would more than likely be a capacitor issue, which could, again, present a problem on the 5-volt rail. So I'm going to switch this stuff around real quick, get it plugged back in. Since we went over all that, we played with the button. Maybe the button was stuck, and it's going to fix itself here. That would be nice if it fixed itself. Wouldn't it be great if things just fixed themselves and we didn't have to work on them? That'd just be the most awesome thing ever. But EQ knows that don't happen. All right, so we're plugged back in here. We're going to hit the power button one more time. All right, what do we got here? That would indicate an unstable. We're resetting again. I get that, Alex, but again, I mean, this is the fourth different PSU, fourth different power supply that's been on here. So I understand where you're going with that, but it's definitely not on the PSU side. It would have to be on the board side. All right. I don't know why this went into BIOS and didn't boot. Probably because we had it hooked up on the. No, that's different actually. So this thing loaded in the BIOS. It loaded itself into there, like a CPU change or something, and we didn't do any of that, and it's going straight. Oh, I don't have the hard drive plugged back in. Never mind. I got to plug the hard drive in, and then we'll see what it does. It should work after that, so let's do a restart on it one more time. That's the funny thing. If you reset it in the BIOS, if you hit F10 and reset it, boom, fires right back up. Doesn't have a problem restarting that way. And I think if I do a restart, watch this. I'm going to do a restart on this thing, okay? And I'll bet you the restart works. Yeah, sometimes you can burn them doing that. Yeah, it's very possible it's a 5-volt issue. And it's possible it's a capacitor, too, that just isn't bulged and showing any physical damage, but you're hunting a needle in a haystack. All right, so we're going to try just a plain restart right here. So let's go with just a restart. So it's going to reboot. But I guess on the reboot, it would never fully shut down the fans. Yeah, rebooted fine. But it never fully shut the board down. It could be a 5-volt issue. I'm not saying it's not, but if it is, there ain't no fixing it right now. Okay, if it isn't hardware or drivers. All right, so here we go again. We are into Linux. We're going to shut it down. And that powers it off. The LED lights are staying illuminated, but they illuminate as soon as you turn the power supply on. So if we cycle the power supply and cut it back on, they're going to illuminate too. So that doesn't affect whether or not the board illuminates. I don't think that has anything to do with it. And we have a flashing BIOS light on the back of the board. Our Ethernet is lit up, both lights. So here we go with the power button. I'm going to hit memory OK. Does nothing. Oh, that's got a red light on it. It does nothing. Reset does nothing. So still, well, we tried the stuff, right? We haven't tried anything with the 5-volt rail because we don't know what part of that rail to look at for an issue. Right. That's if it was going to sleep, but it's not. I mean, we're powering it off, and it knows we're powering it off because you can hit the keyboard, the mouse, or do anything, and it's not waking it up. So it's not going to sleep. it's shutting off. It's just not repowering unless you cycle the switch. So on the shut-off procedure, I'm going to go with what Ashley said. Right, the 24-pin power support, you can figure out which one's the 5-volt pin. I got that. Oh, where's the green light blinking at? That green light blinks all the time. I can turn it off and turn it back on, and it'll blink that green light on that board. Watch. We'll shut it down. I'm pretty sure that green light comes on all the time. I could be wrong, though. Let's see if that's it. That green light indicates sleep. So is it going into a sleep state? Because when I powered it back on, the green light is not on. So that light is the difference here. Great catch there, Alex. I never even noticed that before, but the one light that's blinking is the green light next to this PCI Express slot, and good luck knowing what it says. Alex says it's for sleep, and that could very well be. So instead of, you're right, RGB, I'm going to exercise it right to the scrap pile. I'm not kidding you. Some of these boards, you'll pull your hair out just trying to figure it out. That's why I'm getting fewer hairs on the top. I mean, they just keep disintegrating because I'm pulling them out over this kind of stuff. But Alex is on to something. So rack your brains for a minute. What would cause this to get stuck in a sleep state when you shut it down? What would cause that? Because watch around this PCI Express slot where he's seen this, okay? Watch this right here. We got the board powered on, so we're going to hit the go button. You can see that, ooh, stuck. How many times in these videos have you seen me stick my hand in a fan? I did it again. All right, so what we're doing here, we do not have that green light flashing. So we're going to go in and shut it down again, and we're going to see if we can get that green light flashing. All right, is there a... What? Somebody else has to comment because the heart is stuck over the top of your comment, and I can't see it. Combo card, I'm not sure. All right, we're getting into Linux now. I'll let it load all the way up. I wish I could see what that says there, but for some reason they put the heart right away on the chat. That makes no sense. All right, so right here above this PCI Express slot on the back side of this graphics card, Alex could see it flashing, and you'll see it flashing too. We're going to do a regular shutdown on it, and this is the only thing that changes right here. So let's go here, shut it down. There it goes. So as soon as we shut it off, that green light starts flashing. And then it doesn't work. So it does have something to do with that flashing green light right there. Is that light and air? Usually a green light is good, right? Doesn't that mean go? Doesn't the green mean go? So if we got a green light, that would be, I would figure we're good for takeoff. We could just go ahead and power it up. But that's not working, and that green light is definitely flashing on that board. And it doesn't flash on there when the board goes to work. Put it in rice. That would suck any moisture out of it for sure, but I don't think it's got any moisture in it. What else could the rice do, Raul? I could put it in rice, but I'm not sure. I know rice will suck moisture out. Typically, if you get something wet, you would stick it in rice like that, electronics or anything, and it'll dry it out. It'll suck the moisture out. I usually just use electronic spray. Oh, you're okay, EQ. Don't worry about it. Well, happy Wednesday, Tommy. Good to see you in the stream, buddy. Yeah, it's easy to misunderstand it. Okay, can I see the motherboard? The MPCI Express combo card, I believe, is the Wi-Fi card. It doesn't have a Wi-Fi card on it. So there's no, this board does not have any onboard Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi cards installed on it. So that'll take that out. We know it's not a combo card like that. It does have a little fan that plugs into this part of the motherboard here where the pretty lights are at and the Republic of Gamers logo is. So it does have a little fan. Or no, that plug-in's for the LED lights that are in there, so that's not a big deal. All right, solid green light on the PCI device or motherboard generally indicates that the device or slot is powered on and functioning normal. I'm going to go with the last comment there, that it is probably capacitors. I'm fully on board with that at this point. We've tried everything from memory to CPUs to moving stuff around, different BIOS versions, from Windows to Linux. Two different versions of Linux, actually. I think I had Linux. What other Linux did I test on it? Oh, come on. It's Zorn OS. That's the one I use more frequently, Zorn. I do like Solus, though. Typically the Budgie desktop, not so much this Solus Endurance, but usually the Budgie desktop. I guess we can go ahead and put the 4770 back in it. At least it's more broke usable at that point. It's finally bitten the dust. Yeah. It definitely has. It's finally bitten the dust for sure. Time to put it out in the pasture. I'm not going to put it out in the pasture. I mean, I can use the board like this, so it's not detrimental for me. I can't pass it on to anyone else this way. So it's not a huge deal for me or a deal breaker. Linux doesn't have the USB problems when I shut it down. Windows it does. So it'd be a good little Linux box. Heck, maybe that's what I'll turn it into. Use it for like a... maybe I'll use this board in HTPC. Because you never shut those things down. They run all the time. What do you think of that? I guess my next question would be, do you think the problem might worsen to where the board won't fire up at all? Or do you think it'll work like this for a long time? So that's another way to look at it. I not only removed that BIOS battery, I replaced it, EQ. So we did that one. Yeah, if you unplug it, it'll definitely restart. I'm going to swap this back out, though, to the 4770. I got some more motherboards coming next week, but I'm going to be leaving here. I had a death in the family, so I got to fly out next week, too. I lost my uncle, and my family, my cousins are taking it really bad, so I went ahead and booked a flight last night, and I'm going to fly up to Central Illinois. So I'll be doing that on Tuesday. I'll be flying up there. Oh, check this out. This is one of the things I got when I got ripped off. I got a whole tub of thermal paste, so my $100, that's what I got out of that. So we got a thermal tape case too. You'll see the video on it. I'm gonna have to record more footage on it because I have one SD card on my GoPro that for some reason it's not showing the data. I can't read any data after I record on it. So I got hours and hours of footage that's left, but we got quite a bit of thermal paste in here. So it doesn't look like it's very good stuff though, but we're going to go ahead and put some of it on here. Just like that. I don't know, I probably just made a mess out of it. Who knows? Who cares? If it cools, it cools, right? Get it all over my hands and everything else. You'd think I just eat this stuff for breakfast. I should own stock in it. I don't know if this paste is any good or not. All right, what else do we got? Hillbilly, put it on power, strip, or leave it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do with it, EQ. Lifetime supply, yeah. You haven't seen how much I go through. That's definitely not a lifetime supply for me. I'll be lucky if that lasts 2 months. There is quite a bit in it, though. That's how you know somebody was, I should have known when it had that big tub of thermal paste that the board probably didn't work. Oh, I got that thermal paste all over me, and I ain't kidding you guys and gals. It is everywhere. Holy cow. All I wanted to do was put the other CPU back in. Come on now. All right, let's get this thing back in its place. I will put a better cooler on this. I just don't really have any handy right now. I'll put a quiet one on it if I use this in the HTPC, which is likely where it's going to head because my HTPC doesn't have this good of a processor in it. So we may do that, and we'll up a generation because I think my HTPC, we built a first gen for it. We'll up it a few generations, actually. Make it much, much, much better. All right, what else we got? Yeah, a whole tub of thermal paste. I absolutely get that. Well, I'm going to give you the Best Buy story, and maybe one of you can answer this for me too. But we'll see. Well, I put that like it was supposed to be, and now it doesn't want to reach. That's just great, grand, perfect. I'd mentioned it when I had the thermal paste out before because this isn't the same thermal paste that come out of that. This come out of the tub, and the other thermal paste is the one I got ripped off on, I thought. But Corsair or somebody ripped me off, so let's refire this thing. Ooh. Yep, that's definitely hitting the fan, isn't it? We got to pull a little slack there. Make sure our fan's clear. I hate those stock coolers for that. What was I going to do? Get this box out. All right. Since we're on a live stream and we have 15 people watching, yeah, who started an engine? I did it. That's a fact. All right. Let me get this stuff out of the box. Tell me what I'm looking at here. It says application kit. So what is this? What did I buy? It's got these cards in it right here. Maybe I should, oh, look at that. It come with instructions and I didn't bother to use them. So let's check this out. Substance oxide desync. I don't know what that is. Well, I thought it would come with instructions that come with warning labels. That is where you put it on top of CPU. Yeah, so I was up there getting thermal paste at Best Buy, and if you look on the application, I think you're exactly right because it has two of these things on it, right? And it looks like those lay over the CPU, and I guess you put the paste into the little dots on it. I don't know. But they charged $25 for this, and all I wanted was thermal paste. So I don't know why they put a box together like that, because if you, I've done thermal paste for years, Oh, we got a new CPU installed, so that's going to trigger that again. But I've used thermal paste for years, and I've never really had a problem with it. I've had a problem with coolers having crappy heat sinks on them, and them not spreading right. But I haven't had a problem any other way. It is overrated. You're exactly right. I couldn't agree more on that. It is overrated. So we're going back into endurance. I can probably move you guys where we can look at the screen now so you can see. Oh, plus you can see my new floor. How's that? Since we're doing a live stream and you're tuned in here, you see what I've been working on back here. Oh. And then I'm going to have to start recording somewhere else for a little bit. Oh, no. I got you wrapped around every cable. There's the new floor, though. So you do get to see that, but I got to run the camera down to the ground. There's our Linux screen. Here we go. Oh, back that up. You can have this password. It really doesn't matter. All right, we'll get you on the other tripod real quick. You can't see me, but you can definitely see the screen. See that usually when we're bench testing. But I should be able to get you a little closer this time. Well, not really. Oh. Probably got you bouncing around making you sick right here. But how many of you have used Linux Solus? Raise your hand. All right. So we'll get you up closer to it right there. We can drop this down a little bit. So you are looking at Linux Solus on here. I should have brought a drink back before I started this. Oh, we got that to pop up. I'll try to pull up some of the information on it. I don't know how to pull up the information. I just pretend, mostly. You would think it'd probably have something that said about or something like that, but maybe on the settings. Well, that's about me. It's about XFCE because that's what the manager is on here. How many of you use Linux on a daily? Any of you guys and gals use Linux on a daily or task manager? I believe it was for some of the younger builders that didn't know. It probably was a kind of one of the marketing gimmicks. Oh, I was looking to show you what we have here. So I can move my phone because you don't need to see the live stream twice, once on my phone and once on there. I'm just using my phone to look at it so I can see your comments because the laptop that's running the stream is behind me. And my laptop's actually doing pretty good on this, so that's surprising. I don't know why, looking at that stream, though, it's not showing the full thing. Maybe it's up too close. I don't know what we got. Linux Mint. There you go. You use it on the daily? I mean, is that your normal operating system on a daily basis, or? I don't see nothing here. I don't see anything. If I wasn't looking for it, I would find it, but I just wanted to show what our system is. That's it. I'm not a huge fan of this version of Solus. The Budgie desktop I've used before, but I'm not a huge fan of this one. Oh, EQ hasn't used anything since Arch. I've used Arch before too. I've been up and down the Linux road for about 20 years now. Oh, let me show you something cool. I found this at a thrift store. And it's an older version of it, but how many times have you seen this in the wild? Take a look at that. Linux Red Hat 7.1. So how many times have you seen that in the wild? Move it back some. That camera is really just kind of blowed up there. There it is. I found that at a thrift store, and I think I give $2 for it. I think I might try to install it one day just to see what it does. Heck, if we had a Assetto Corsa, I've got Steam on this. Let's pull it up. I think I just downloaded Assetto on it. I've used Assetto though. Yep, there's Assetto Corsa. Will it run on Linux? I don't know. We're going to click it and find out. It's updating Steam, so I don't know if it'll run on Linux or not. We're going to find out right now because we're going to try it. All right, there's my Steam come up. It says it's launching it, so it's downloading something though. I don't know if it runs natively on Linux or not, but I have Proton on this one. Yeah, $8,000 video card. I'm out. It's not on my gaming PC, but system. All right, let's see if we can find that. Let's go here. We'll hit system. Well, I hit system and I don't see anything popping up. Huh. I don't see. There we go. System. All right, so what do we hit after we get in system? Software, task manager. There's Kaja, G part of hardware, locality, manage printing, print settings, software center, task manager. What am I missing here? I went to system. We don't have anything. I would think almost under settings though. Let's try that about me again. Nope. We don't want to put a mugshot down. So that didn't do it. I'm going to try to find it. There's hardware drivers. I did the latest NVIDIA drivers on this version of Linux, so oh, mercy. There's nothing. This is at 2%, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be downloading content until we're all old and gray. Wait, I am old and gray. If it's going to be downloading content until they're putting me 6 foot in the ground. I'm going to straighten you out a little more. You're not sitting as nice on this new floor for some reason. I'll have to check that out. Oh, I don't have none of the trim around the floor either, so some of the edges could be sticking up a little bit because I don't have the trim around it. I do appreciate all of you guys and gals tuning in today, and we got to mess around with that board. Heck, we tried a lot of stuff together, right? We just figured that it's time to put the board out to the pasture or make it an HTPC, and that's what we're going to do with it. Or just keep it a cool little Linux box and put it in something and mess with it. We could do that too, kind of like we're doing. We have Linux on it, so it says it's downloading the content, but it's at like 4%. That's not good. That's definitely not good. But I can pick you guys and gals up. This is what we've been working on, the wife and I. But it's not just the flooring that had to go down. The subfloor under it was gone. It wasn't from this sink, believe it or not. It was from on the other side of that wall right there that you're looking at is a washer and dryer. And the line coming up for the washing machine which is in the wall, mind you. So this line is in the wall, started leaking. And I had to replace a bunch of the subfloor in the laundry room, and it got this part of the subfloor here. Thankfully, it didn't get any of the other floor. So I had to patch in new subfloor down here, and then this flooring is what matches what we have mostly throughout our house. So we had a couple boxes left over, which worked out real good for being able to put it in here. So getting this floor fixed was stage one of building a studio here. Stage two is going to be a little more extravagant, and the plans have not finalized yet because my wife is arguing with me. I want to take all this out right here. So I want to tear all this out of here, the sink, everything, because it don't need to be back here. And I just want to tear it out. So if I tear this out, my thought behind it is it opens this area up more. And I need to redo how my racing rigs sit and all that stuff anyway. But if I can tear this out, it'll give me more room to build a bench across that back wall and kind of L-shape it, which would make great for studio, and then be able to put lighting up on the walls. You don't even want to know how that light I put in is done, but we're not going to show that. And I think it's going to take forever to download this, so I'm probably just going to let it download on its own and not worry about it. I guess we come to the conclusion on this thing that we're going to put the motherboard out to pasture. We're not going to put it in any PC that we might be able to flip or have any plans of flipping it. That's right, PC parts everywhere. You got to love it, right? That's how I roll. I watch EQ's videos. If you want to see PC parts everywhere, you go look at EQ emulation right there. And I'm pretty sure that EQ is for EverQuest, right? The $90 Ryzen 5. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because the video is coming up, but I smoked a heck of a deal on a Ryzen system recently. So you'll have to be on the lookout for that video because that's coming up. I got a really good deal on a Ryzen setup, which is cool. I guess I could put you guys back up on the other thing now that we've looked at all that and you see what Linux I'm playing around with here, and whether or not Assetto Corsa will work on Linux, we're going to find out. But probably not on this video because I'm done messing with this board. You've seen how much time we just have in this board on this live stream, right? Changing the CPU and doing all of that. I have got hours in this board now, literally. And I thought it was perfect. I thought, you know what? This is going to work good in Bling 2. And I'll just put you up where you can see me now. What the heck? That'll work just fine. So I thought about it, and I'm like, we can put this in Bling 2, and we'll have we'll have a good flip, right? And then it had the restart issue, and that kind of done that in. So I had to come up with a different plan for Bling 2, and we did that. It's going to make a great board for a Linux box where you just leave it on all the time, a HTPC. How many of you guys and gals use HTPCs? Red Hat had a boot floppy. Yes, they did. Red Hat's been around for a long time. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. But that's okay because I have old hardware here we can put the Red Hat on. I will tell you what, it's definitely been a fun one. This has been a fun ride. Now I just got to find a case for it, something that we're not going to resell or care about, right? If we can find a case for it, we'll throw it in a case and we'll build. You know what? I have a case. We got this. I was just sitting here thinking about it. Let's build a HTPC out of it. We can do it on this stream if you want. No, we can't. I need a power supply for the case. They take a or a proprietary power supply. That's the word I'm looking for. Proprietary. So they take one of those, and I don't know why my camera. Oh, because I'm not moving it around or messing with it. It's still working. But I have a Silverstone HTPC case from back in the day. It's awesome. And I think that might be where this motherboard ends up at. I think we'll put it in there. I'm using a little mini, what do they call those little HP boxes? ProDesk, the little bitty tiny ones. They're about this yay big. I think they're called a ProDesk. So I have a HP ProDesk that I'm using for one now. The problem is it does not have enough horsepower. And what I mean by that is the video, you really need good horsepower on those. AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 30-something, the heart's in the way again. 12 gigabyte. 3060 maybe? 12 gig 3060? That would be my guess there with Windows 11. I know that you put it there, but if you're looking at, let me show you what I'm looking at. Did my camera quit? No. My head's down because I'm looking at the phone. There. So if you see the little heart right there is in the way of those messages, and it makes it difficult for me to read. However, I should be able to see the live chat back here, not only if I had my YouTube opened up. So the computer that's streaming it doesn't even have that open, so that's cool. I think that's all we're going to do to this board today, though. I told you guys and gals in comments and stuff that we would live stream this, but I think that we didn't get anywhere with it. Yeah, they're not powered. Well, actually, EQ, they are. Some of those little nukes, they got great CPUs in them, and if you go with an external GPU, you can game on those things all day. One of my iRacing friends is a superintendent for a big construction company out of North Carolina, and he actually takes a nuke with him, and he uses an external graphics card, and he uses that nuke to run iRacing when he's on the road. So the little nukes can be a powerful little thing. ROG, I like my ROG stuff. This one though is different. This is the possessed ROG board right here. So this board's definitely possessed. I have a bunch of parts coming, and once they get here, Catherine comments all the time. Thank you so much. I know what you're doing, and I appreciate that. Any of the old parts and stuff that anyone wants to send to me, I'll throw it up here, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do this format from now on. So I wanted to test the live streaming to see how well it worked, and it looks like it's worked okay today, which is good, because two things that I'm going to do. One is quit using a laptop and just use our regular desktop, but I'm going to get a microphone so I don't have to worry about using the laptop's onboard microphone for this. So I'm going to do that. And the third thing, the most important thing, is Thursdays on the Thursday evening videos are going to switch to a live stream. So we're going to live stream something every Thursday, whether it's putting a PC together. What I would like to do is reserve Thursday's live stream for testing parts. So testing motherboards and different stuff. And the reason that I want to do that is because I can use your comments, the live chat, to try different stuff. If we throw a board up here that doesn't work, we'll try different things. And we'll use some of my broken boards too. Because one of you might tell me to try something that actually works and powers the board up. So I think that's what we're going to start doing on Thursdays now. That just keeps me from having to produce a couple videos a week and worry about getting all that content out. I have enough for Tuesday videos for a while, but the Thursday videos are kind of hit and miss. So I know it's only Wednesday now, but I really wanted to do this 4770 live stream. That's why I did it. So I wanted to do this 4th Gen live stream really bad. Who's messaging me? Oh, I see now. All right. It's not giving any secrets. Nope. 1654 gig, not bad. Yeah, I appreciate all of you that come into the stream. I can't thank you enough for taking your time to come in here and give me different things to try. And we try to. Oh, don't go to sleep on me. That might end up badly. No, we're good. Just so you know, our Assetto Corsa, our Corsa is only at 18%. So it is not going fast. It must be a huge download. But I think I'm going to cut the live stream here. It's definitely been fun having you guys and gals in the chat, but we've been going at it for a little while, and I've got some stuff to do. So that's it. The 4th Gen board, I failed on it. I tried, but I failed. I'm going to have to admit defeat on this one. Thank you for tuning in, though. I love the comments on the videos. Keep them coming in. The Tuesday videos will drop normal. The Thursdays are going to change, though. I warned you about that a little while back, and then I dropped a Thursday video last week. That's not going to happen this week, though. I'll probably fire up another live stream, and we'll put another board up here to test because I'm kind of in the mood for testing boards right now. So that's probably what we're going to do. I have another Intel, which is a 3rd Gen setup that has all kinds of weird problems too. So I think that'll be tomorrow night stream. We'll throw that board up here. And I might as well just get out that Sabertooth 990FX board I bought that I got $100 in. That and this graphics card. Let me get it. So this is a little, what is this thing? Oh, it's a GTX 960. So this came in the buy where I bought the 990FX Sabertooth board, and it don't work either. So I got it, the graphics card, the thermal tape case, and I guess the case works. I put my 1366 build in it, and it works in there, so I guess the case was good. But nothing else was, so we're done with that. We're at 19% on our Assetto Corsa. And we don't have a wheel hooked up to it anyway, so I'd have to hook a wheel and everything up. But I do have some extra ones behind me. So we could definitely set up an extra wheel. In fact, if you're into sim racing and you'd like to check out some of that, we'll do that on some of the live streams too. I have a Turtle Beach. Why is that going to sleep so fast? I don't know. I have a Turtle Beach direct drive wheel set up over there. So what do they call that? Velocity Race 1, I believe. And that is what I've been racing on in the league races, but I'm switching to, I'm going to go back to my Moza. I just wanted to test the Turtle Beach out. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Turtle Beach. I'm probably going to give it to my son in the Air Force when he gets settled down some more. AMD FX 6300 with 24 gigs of RAM and an old 1650. That's a good setup for your daughter there, Travis. No doubt about it. That's a really, really solid setup. I was a big fan of the AM3s. I don't know. I guess I started messing with the Intel stuff and AMD. The old AM3 chips got mad at me because I'm having zero luck on these things lately. I'm like 0 for 4 right now on the old AM3 stuff and AM2. So I'm like 0 for 4 on that stuff right now. Hopefully that'll improve. We're going to find out on Thursdays. Thursdays about 6 p.m. is when I'll go live. And that would have been when I might even hold it off till about 8 p.m. where, when people were settled down and had their dinner already. But that 8 p.m. is Eastern time. I'm in the Eastern time zone. But I'm like 0 for 4 on the AMD stuff. I have some stuff that Dan French had sent me, and I haven't seen Dan comment in a while. So if he watches a live stream, thank you once again, buddy, and I hope you're doing all right. I'm actually flying up right into your neck of the woods next week, so I will be uh, I will be in Galesburg on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So I'm going to spend a few days there, and then I'm going to go down to Springfield. Uh, so I don't I fly in sometime in the early afternoon. So I hate it's not a vacation. You just hate going places for funerals and stuff like that. I don't like to do it. Sadly, of my aunts and uncles, my dad's brothers and sisters, he was next to the last one. So there's one more left, and he's not doing too good either. And I lost my dad back in 2012, so it's been tough for the family. I lost my mom this year, and now just lost my uncle. So it's been tough, but that's part of the thing with age and the circle. Life catches up with you, right? So you find out that none of us are invincible. That's what you start learning. So that's why you live every day to the fullest. That's just live it to the fullest and do what you're capable of doing. I don't. Why does this thing go to sleep that fast? Is a green light flashing while it's doing it? Nope. Oh, but it kicked out my Linux or my Steam. I don't know. It's doing some weird stuff over here. But that's going to do it for the live stream. I will catch you guys and gals tomorrow night because I will fire another one up. And we will test some more motherboards. So we're going to test motherboards, graphics cards, you name it. I'm going to fire it up at SimSation right here. Live streams on Thursdays. And if it works good, we get enough people in, we'll just keep doing the live stream on Thursday. So if you like that format, thank you, Travis. That means a ton right there. It's been a tough year. It really has, but we all go through it. It's sad, but we all go through it, and it'll be fine. We always figure out how to soldier on. I have a wonderful, beautiful wife, and I have three beautiful, awesome children. So I'm blessed. I truly am. And that's all, a man could ask for that and never get it in his life. And some people do get it, and I'm just one of the ones that have been fortunate that way. So that part's awesome. And as you age, you're going to lose your parents and different family members, and it's tough. It really is. When I lost my dad, it was a really tough few years for me after that. And I didn't know how hard my mom would hit me, but it has hit me really, really hard. It's just crazy. Mostly tech people, we will usually know what is good. I do. I mean, I didn't feel like on this stuff I got ripped off on recently. I don't really call it a rip off because if I truly am putting anything, money wise that's going to bother me down, I'll ask to test it. So I'll take stuff if I got to take a power supply or whatever, I'll take it over to test it before I pay for it to make sure that it works because you're putting more money out than, but $50, $75, $100, I don't typically do that, especially on multiple parts because the likeliness is that if one thing don't work, other things will, and it'll make up for it. So I kind of let my guard down on that one. This one though, I drove 40 miles to get, so 80 miles round trip. So it was 40 miles up there and then 40 back. So 80 round trip. So I had to drive to get it, and all in the boxes. The graphics card. Let me get the box out. Just hang tight a minute. So I have the box for this thing. You can see it right there, Sabertooth 990 FX, and this is the Holy Grail, the R2.0 version. So look at this board. It is absolutely gorgeous. So there it is right there, still the plastic's over it. I put the heat sink on it. So the heat sink wasn't on this thing, I put it on here. So we're going to go ahead and pull this board out of the box right here. It looks like it's getting ready to storm too. So we'll pull the board out of the box, and look how clean this is. Not a speck of dust on it. It's just super clean. See it right there. And it has a 6100 or 6300 in it. And I tried an 8350 in it, and I can't get that board to post. So we might do that on tomorrow night's live stream. This might be the board we do, this 990 FX I bought, but this come in the last marketplace buy I did. That and the little 960 graphics card, they were all in the boxes and in beautiful shape. And I honestly looked at it, and the first thing I thought is this is going to work great. And we're going to get a good video because we got a good 990 FX R2.0. And I think somebody told me in the comment section on YouTube that the R2.0 is good because you can put I got one here somewhere. Where's it at? I don't know where I put it, but it's easier to show than tell. I showed it to you before. You put the NVMe drives on and plug it into a PCI Express slot. So it's one of those adapters. That board is the Sabertooth 990 FX R2.0 is supposed to boot off those. So if we ever get that board to work, we'll find out. But that's going to do it for the live stream. Thank you guys and gals for tuning in. It's been fun. It's always fun when you're messing around with this stuff that you're having a problem with and you can't quite figure it out. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow night on the next stream that we do. I got to open up my OBS here. I'll try to. I was thinking about just going live tomorrow at 6, but I think I'll hold it off a little bit. I think we'll shoot for around 7:30 tomorrow night. So that's going to be the Thursday night streams, except for next Thursday because I'll be out of town. But the Tuesday videos will be fine because I'll have those uploaded before I leave town. So all the Tuesday night videos will be fine. I'll miss a couple weeks on the live stream, and then I'll get right back to it. So I'll go ahead and live stream tomorrow night, and then I'll take 2 weeks off from the live streams on Thursday night, and then we'll go back to the Thursday night live streams. So that's going to do it. Last night's video I thought was pretty good, though. Tell me what you thought about that one. I thought that was a pretty good video. The Alienware Aurora R7, that'd be another one we can put on the live stream, too. That computer, I still have the 750 watt power supply from the video in it. It is sitting over there hooked up to that Turtle Beach rig, and I've been running iRacing on it. So that Aurora R7 is my iRacing rig right now with the 6600 XT in it. So that one is, that's a really good computer. I still need to put a power supply in it so we can get the RGB working because that's a flip computer. I'm not keeping it. Most of these, you'll know my flip computers, I don't have attachments to them. If I'm going to flip them, I don't attach to them. Just like the motherboard. And it's easier that way. If something's broke, you can just junk it, right? Because you're not attached to it. But I have computers I'm attached to, and I wish I could unattach myself from some of them, but I can't. My big iRacing rig is the bigger Intel system. That's staying. That can't go anywhere. And my LGA 1366s, they will pry those from my cold, dead hands. I kid you not. Bar none, the best socket Intel ever released. Bar none. I'm not even partial to the X99s. I do like my editing rig, though. I know I've had a lot of comments on that one. That is a full AliExpress build. And someone told me they want to see another one of those, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'll have to look at the parts prices right now from AliExpress, and you guys can tell me what you want to see on that. Do we do another X99 or do we do an X299? Do we go ahead and upgrade and get a little later model on our AliExpress build? And then let's try to keep it under a certain budget. Mostly because I'm not made out of money, so that would be nice. I will try. I'll try to get that out to you today. Uh, I've got some things going on after I end this stream here, and then I'll message you and I'll see if I can get that out. I didn't forget about you. I just had stuff to get out of the way, and I wanted to get this live stream done and tested today. So that's, I think it worked out pretty good. You can tell me if the audio's come in clear and the visual on the camera's clear, then I think we're on a good platform. I think we're on a good platform for building our live stream setup here. So what else do we have? I think that's it. All right. Thank you guys and gals for tuning in. I'll catch you tomorrow night at about 7:30 p.m.